We're going to rewrite this parabola in vertex form, and the way we're going to do that is to complete this square. Then we're going to fill out all this information, then we're going to graph it. Okay, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit to problem 1. All right, so for problem 1, y'all, which letter is being squared, x or y? Yeah, so that's what we're focusing on. So everything that has the letter x is going to stay on this side. Everything that doesn't have the letter x is going to be moved to the other side of the equal sign. Don't forget to change the signs. All right, so it's going to look like this. X squared stays minus 6x plus a blank, because we're going to force that side to be a perfect square trinomial. Now remember, this has an equal sign. So remember, when we move the other stuff over, that's negative 8y, so it's positive 8y here. Positive 17 there, negative 17 here. You need to draw a blank on the other side too, because we have to keep it equal. So whatever value we add to the left, we're going to add the same exact value to the right. Okay, so what's half of negative 6 again? Yeah, that's going to go in parentheses. So x minus 3, close it, square it. What's negative 3 times negative 3? That's what goes on the blanks. That's it. All right, now this line of my work, I took this little perfect square trinomial and I wrapped it up in a nice, neat little factored package. Remember, this is the same thing, it's just factored form. Let's clean up the right side. So this is going to be 8y minus 8. All right, so I know the instructions say to write it in vertex form, and we're going to write it in vertex form. But y'all need to be familiar with standard form also, because that's, I can't think of the word, that's the main objective for the conic sections, which is the curriculum you're learning. All right, this is no form at all. But once we factor out the number stuck next to the letter y, it's going to be standard form. Let's factor out 8 on the other side. I'm going to recopy this left side. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to do anything to it. Let's take the 8 out. So that turns into y minus 1 in parentheses. This is standard form. All right. To make it vertex form, y'all, we just isolate y. We just solve for y. Remember, y is in parentheses right now, and it's being multiplied by 8. So we need to multiply both sides by a number that makes that 8 go away. What do we multiply both sides by? 1/8. Great job. Let's multiply both sides by 1/8. So it's going to be 1/8 over here times x minus 3 squared. Remember that 8 went away now, and you don't even need the parentheses anymore, so this is just y minus 1. You're almost done. You just need to move the 1 over. So y equals remember, when you move that 1 over, it's plus 1. There you go, guys. That's vertex form. Any questions on that? All right, let's talk just a minute about tests and quizzes. Obviously, you're going to have to do some graphing on assessments, because this is the graphing unit. When you do graphing on assessments, if I give you these blanks, you do not have to relabel it on here. But if I just give you the graph, you have to label everything. But if you have fill in the blanks, you don't have to label everything. All right, so let's start plugging in what we know. Does it open up down, left, or right? It opens up. Good job. What's the vertex? 3, 1. Good. I'm going to show you guys how I graph this stuff. It's always routine. It goes by pretty quick. From here, I don't fill out the rest. I go straight to the graph. Let's plot the vertex at positive 3, 1. And then remember, y'all just told me this opens up. I kind of go ahead and draw that part of the graph. Because once I draw that part of the graph, everything falls into place. Ooh, I almost forgot my absolute favorite value. Remember, my p-value is my favorite value. What is the p-value? It is. Remember, it's the bottom number divided by 4. Awesome. The reason why I love that p-value is I know exactly where the focus is. It's 2 places up from the vertex. I'm going to plot a dot. I'm going to go back to the vertex, go 2 places down, and draw a dash, because that's where the directrix is. I always do this format, and I'm over half of the way done on the graph. Now look, y'all, I think next year I'm going to have to start using the magnifying glass on this. So with that being said, y'all bold this stuff out. I can barely see it as it is. On a test or a quiz, if you use a different color pen, I would really appreciate that. But just make sure it's bold enough where I can see it, because I'm old. All right, so I have my directrix, I have my focus, and I have my vertex. I'm almost done graphing this stuff. I just need the official focal width. Let me drop down here and talk about this. Remember, your official focal width is just the reciprocal of A. Remember, the A is 8, or 1 over 8. So this is 8. So all I got to do is go to the focus and go 4 places in each direction. And that's going to be the official focal width, the LR. All right, now I'm going to draw the curve. And y'all, I might be a little over picky about this, but y'all are in pre-cal. You got to bring your A game on these graphs. They need to be pretty much on point, pretty much accurate. Your arrows need to go to the edge of the picture. I need to see your dots. I need to see your directrix. I also need to see your axis of symmetry. Remember, your axis of symmetry cuts through the vertex and the focus. You got to have arrows at the end of your directrix and your focus. And it can't look like an absolute value graph. It has to be curved at the vertex. All right, I have shown everything that I am expecting you to show on a test or quiz. Let's go back and fill in the blanks. All right, focus. Remember, the focus was 2 places up, which means the 3 stayed the same and the y value turned into a 3. Remember, the directrix was p places down. So what is changing in these ordered pairs? The y value is changing. So the y value for the directrix is going to be y equals -1. The axis of symmetry is always the number in the ordered pairs that are not changing. The number in the ordered pairs that are not changing are the x values, so x equals 3, and then that's it. And the reason why I'm bringing it up to you like that is because eventually you're not going to have a graph. You're going to have this information. So remember, the directrix is what's changing. The axis of symmetry is what is not changing. And whatever the equation starts with is the same thing as the directrix. Y equals, y equals. All right, let's go ahead and do number 2. All right, so for problem number 2, y is squared. All right, so let's move everything over that does not have the letter y with it. Draw your blanks on both sides of the equal sign. Let's go ahead and factor what this is going to be. Let's cut positive 2 in half. So it's going to be y plus 1 in parentheses. Y'all, what goes on those blanks? 1. Whatever this number is, you just square it and you drop it on the blanks. So these are 1s. All right, let's clean up the right side. It's going to be negative 4x minus 8. Remember, that is no form whatsoever. We're about to factor out that negative 4 on the other side. When you factor out a negative, don't forget to change the signs. Cool, that's standard form. I'll just put SF right here. And then once we solve for x, that's vertex form, and then we're ready to graph. All right, so remember, x is in parentheses. It's got this negative 4 by it. What are we going to multiply both sides of the equation by? Yes, good job on keeping the sign. Yes, multiply both sides by negative 1/4. All you got to do now is move that 2 over, and then that's it. That's going to be vertex form. I'm going to write it right above this because I'm going to adjust my screen to kind of fit as much as I can. Okay, that's vertex form. Here we go. Does this graph open up, down, left, or right? Left. Great job. Remember that vertex, that is going to be negative 2, negative 1. I'm plotting that right now. So negative 2, negative 1. You guys told me it opens to the left, so I'm just going to draw the shape of that. And then from there, so appropriate for Valentine's Day, I get to find my favorite value, which is P. Y'all, if A is negative, P is negative. So we need to write negative 1. Now remember, your focus is that many places to the left. So the focus is going to be one place to the left, draw a dot. Your directrix is one place to the other side, so draw a dash. And then you have 3/5 of your graph already done. Let's go ahead and extend out the directrix. All right, so even though the p-value is negative, your focal width, your LR, is always positive because it's a measurement. What is the LR? What is the focal width? It's just 4. Yeah, it's the reciprocal of the A value. All right, I'm going to go back to that focus I drew, and I'm going to go 2 places up and 2 places down because that's going to be the official focal width. And then I'm going to try my best to make these graphs look the best I can because I'm kind of expecting the same for you. Do the best that you can. Give it your best effort. All right, I got one more thing to graph on here. I need to graph the axis of symmetry. Remember, it cuts through the focus and the directrix. I'm sorry, yeah, the focus, the vertex, and the directrix. It cuts through all that. All right, let's go ahead and fill in these blanks. Then we're going to flip over and start writing some equations. All right, back up here. The focus was one place to the left. So this is a negative 3, negative 1. The directrix is going to start with whatever letter is changing up here. The x coordinates are changing. This starts with an x. This was one place to the right of negative 2, so x equals a negative 1. Your axis of symmetry is whatever is remaining the same. The y values are remaining the same at negative 1. Any questions on that? I hear people turning the page. I'm going to turn my page. All right, write the equation of the parabola with the given information. Here's the 3 things you got to know. You know that I'm going to say the p-value. You got to know that. You also have to know the vertex. I'm just going to write HK. And then you got to know the direction of the opening. I'll just write direction. Okay, so that's it. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 1. Guys, if you notice, I gave you a graph to like kind of sketch it out, to write it. I'm not going to give you a graph every time. I'm going to give you just stuff like this. All right, so let's check off what we know. We don't know the p-value yet, so we're going to have to figure that out. Do we know HK? We do. It's right there. And then do we know the direction of the opening? Kinda. Guys, think about where 2, 3 is. So right here's the vertex. And the focus is 0, 3. Here's the focus. So you can kind of visualize that. Which direction does it open? Up, down, left, or right? Opens left because the focus is to the left of the vertex. All right, now all we need is the p-value, but we kind of already have that too. What's the p-value? I'm sorry? It is, great job. It's going to be a -2 because it opens to the left. All right, here we go. So remember, if it opens to the left, it's x equals. If it opens to the left, the first value, the fraction, is negative. I'm going to skip that for a moment because I like to go ahead and knock out HK because there's just one thing left after that. So guys, drop in your K value in the parentheses. Make sure it's opposite. So write -3. Go ahead and write your H value of +2 out there. What's the fraction? It is. Good job. Remember, the bottom number is 4 times P. That's it. Perfect. Any questions on this? All right, let's take a look at the next one then. The last one for today. Y'all are almost done. And your classwork's going to be fairly light. Remember, no homework. All right, number 2. We're given the directrix. It's y equals -5. That's way down here. We're given the focus of 2, 1. Y'all, that's the focus. Well, what do we know? Not much. Can we find the p-value? Yes. Y'all, how far apart is the focus and the directrix on that graph? It's 6 spaces apart. Good. What's your p-value? It's 3. Remember, your vertex is missing here. So right in between the focus and the directrix is the vertex. The p-value is going to be a 3. Should I leave that 3 positive, or is that going to be negative? Is it going to open up or down? Okay, no, we're going to leave it positive. All right, so I'm just going to guess like right here in the middle is the vertex. We've already determined it does open up. Y'all can never cross the directrix. That's like almost dividing by 0. So never, ever cross the directrix. So obviously it has to open up. All right. Okay, we know the direction of the opening. It opens up. We just need the vertex. Y'all, what's HK? What's right in the middle of that? 2, -2. Good. All right, so it's going to be y equals, it opens up, so it's positive. Ooh, what's the denominator of this? Yes. X -2, close it, square it, -2 for your K value.